Meeting in the Capitol generated lots of recriminations, but little progress on the top issues confronting negotiators on vital COVID-19 rescue money. It's all yours, Linda.
Michael, it's back to the drawing board again. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin emerged from meetings with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer with this pronouncement.
I think there's a lot of issues we are close to a compromised position on.
And now the bad news.
I think there's a handful of very big issues that we are still very far apart.
Speaker Pelosi was more direct.
I couldn't help but thinking when we were at the table that what they were offering us was Sophie's choice.
In other words, she says the White House was offering too little, too late, and for too few people.
Not enough money for food, nothing for housing in terms of rentals. A moratorium, that's nice, but it's not money for rent. It isn't not enough money for money in the pockets of the American people who really need this, who through no fault of their own are out of work.
While Democrats continue to say the next coronavirus stimulus deal must be big, bold, and comprehensive, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows says smaller proposals may be necessary.
We could have passed a very skinny deal that dealt with some of the most pressing issues, and yet we've had Democrat senators not once but twice say no.
When they said a skinny proposal, it was anorexic.
Senator Schumer joined Speaker Pelosi in saying the White House is unwilling to compromise.
They were unwilling to meet in the middle. They said it mostly has to be their way, and they admitted that.
Mark Meadows says President Trump sees things differently.
He's coming to the realization that perhaps some of our Democrats, both in the House and the Senate, are not serious about compromise and are not serious about trying to meet the needs of the American people.
Both sides indicate some movement, for example, on extending the enhanced unemployment benefits. But Treasury Secretary Mnuchin says both sides remain miles apart when it comes to aid to state and local governments.
The president is not going to do a deal that has a massive amount of money to bail out state and locals.
That clearly got under Nancy Pelosi's skin.
We're not bailing out the states. We're protecting the jobs of our heroes.
Who are the heroes?
Our healthcare workers, our first responders, our transportation, sanitation, our teachers.
So the day ended pretty much as it began. Some movement on some issues, no movement on others. But Senator Schumer says Democrats are not giving up.
We urged them. We said we'd be here. They're going to think about it, but we urged them to come back.
Linda Kenyon, Washington.
Thanks, Linda. We're coming up now on 10 minutes past the hour. President Trump is still trying to hold rallies, or at least mini rallies, as he campaigns for another term. The latest stop, Ohio, where, as Bob Costantini reports, he made a startling prediction about a vaccine and then said Joe Biden wants to hurt God.
Michael, when it comes to a coronavirus vaccine, the president may be hoping for a Hail Mary, while on the same day questioning Joe Biden's faith. No matter how, if you're voting early, President Trump wants you to know about his gut feeling there will be a COVID-19 vaccine by November 3rd, Election Day.
I'm optimistic that it'll be probably around that date. I believe we'll have the vaccine before the end of the year, certainly, but around that date, yes.
While politically, that might be good for the president, virus expert Dr. Anthony Fauci telling Congress the time frame may be considerably longer. He's excited about 2 vaccines moving into phase 3 trials.
It's a trial that will go over several months involving 30,000 individuals. We hope that as the time we get into the late fall and early winter, we will have, in fact, a vaccine that we can say would be safe and effective.
No surprise, the president was on his way to Ohio. The visit included a tarmac speech that was very much like a mini rally for a group of supporters, the kind of rally the coronavirus pandemic does not allow on a large scale. On the day New York's Attorney General launched a lawsuit to shut down the NRA, the president got on a roll about what a President Joe Biden would do.
Take away your guns, destroy your Second Amendment, no religion, no anything, hurt the Bible, hurt God. He's against God, he's against guns, he's against energy, our kind of energy.
As for Ohio, the state is sending applications for absentee ballots to all 7.8 million registered voters around Labor Day. Bob Costantini, Washington.
Thank you, Bob. Well, ahead of this morning's upcoming official government report, economists have forecast that U.S. employers added 1.6 million jobs in July, and that would normally be a fantastic job gain, yet it would still fall far short of June's 4.8 million increase and May's 2.7 million gain. It would show that hiring has weakened, and it would mean that the economy has still regained only 40% of the jobs lost since the pandemic intensified in March and triggered a deep recession and tens of millions of layoffs. We're going to get deeper into that later on here on First Light. It's 12 past the hour.
Coming up in sports, opting out and back in. I'm Robert Workman on First Light.
We're back in 2 minutes.
More than 100,000 Americans have died of the coronavirus, but you don't have to be a victim. Now, New York Times best-selling author and renowned medical doctor Chauncey Crandall reveals how you can prevent and beat the virus. In Dr. Crandall's new book, Fight Back, you can find your real risk from conditions like obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. Fight Back also reveals the 3 most important things you can do to prevent the virus. Dr. Crandall shares the natural immunity boosters that fight any virus, and he details the drugs that help and the latest on a vaccine. If you have obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, or other conditions, you need to get Dr. Crandall's Fight Back. Newsmax calls it the best book on the coronavirus. It's already a #1 Amazon bestseller. Get Fight Back in bookstores or see the free offer and save $20. Just call 800-821-3000. That's 800-821-3000. 821-3000. Or go online to fightback411.com today.
Dell supports America's entrepreneurs during Small Business Month with all you need to office anywhere. Save up to 45% on computers and servers with Intel Core processors. Upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10. Plus save on top brand tech while enjoying free shipping on everything. And special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the tech that's just right. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
Attention all. From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey, what's the best way to get this week's hot gardening specials at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala? Well, that's easy. Just go to bobwinescamelliagardens.net and you'll see dozens of unbelievable buys. This week, Bob's featuring a fantastic selection of budded and blooming crepe myrtles. They're in white, red, pink, purple, peppermint, and many other colors. Smaller ones regularly $9.99. They're just $4.99 each. The larger size crepe myrtles, well, they're just $12.99. Come on, check out Bob's big selection of citrus, starting at just $69.99. But you buy one and you get one for half price. Don't forget the extraordinary deals in the old-timey greenhouse. Hundreds of discounted items, 10 to 20% off. Come on out early to Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
WOCA.
Mostly cloudy today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 90 to 92. Tonight mainly clear, low 76. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm at spots. Breezy in the afternoon, high 93. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 77. Sunday, times of clouds and sunshine. Breezy in the afternoon, high Sunday, 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us.
For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
Come and join the Marion County Search and Rescue on August 15th at AMF Galaxy East. This is a fundraiser to support this all-volunteer community organization. It's open to everyone. No scratch games, no handicap. Just lots of fun for a great cause. The cost is $25 per person. It's a 40-frame game. There will be a 50-50 raffle and prizes. Cash award will be given to the top 3 bowlers. Again, that's August the 15th at Galaxy East. Walk-ins welcome, but early registration is recommended. Contact Galaxy East for more information and register. 352-694-1111.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. We gonna get down Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, 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 partying. Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend. Friday, gotta get down on
Yeah, you're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Good morning, as it is Friday, August 7th, as we welcome you to the show. AM Ocala Live, as we've got a little sticky morning, but hey, it's beautiful nonetheless because it's still kind of cool. 73 degrees out there right now with 100% humidity. So as the sun's going to be moving up, it's going to get hot today, folks, as we're expecting a high near 93 with a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms today, which is going to be mainly after 2 p.m. with a heat index that is expected to value near 105 degrees with the amount of humidity that we'll have in the air and the expectation of these afternoon thunderstorms, hopefully bringing some relief from that heat. But at the same time, we can expect it to be, like we said, feeling very, 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 very hot. 105 for the heat index, like we said, high near 93. As new rainfall amounts today of less than 1/10 of an inch, and expect higher when possibly the showers and thunderstorms, as we're expecting them a little bit earlier today, as yesterday we saw some of the area get it over from what looked like downtown Ocala there in the afternoon. At least us at the airport, it's like everything went around us. We got a few drizzling raindrops. That was about it. But in the surrounding area, as we were all looking at the radar, it was, it was heavy. A lot of lightning yesterday. And we know in certain areas got lots and lots of rain, heavy rain, and a lot of wind as well. But we can expect more of a chance today with, like we said, 50 or 60% chance of those showers and thunderstorms. And like we said, it's going to be a hot one, so that plays a part in that altogether. It's definitely going to feel like a dog day of summer nonetheless. But with that being said, it is Friday, and we made it to the end of the week, and we've got a weekend coming up. So keep pressing to finish your workday as we get you started for your workday right here, AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Be sure and catch us here as we're streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. Be sure and smash like and hit subscribe as we can give you all the up-to-date stuff that we have coming through and through here to keep you a little informed and a little entertained. We got a good show for you here on this Friday, getting down on Friday, as we're going to come back from a break and get the conversation rolling. There's a little bit to talk about here and there of obviously them trying to come to some agreement for the ideas of the end of the week for the second stimulus bill, I believe what they're calling the HEROES Act, as there's certain things that both sides are distant on, and so on and so forth. So we can talk a little bit about that. But there's some other things to talk nonetheless within coronavirus and all that good stuff. So as we get the conversation rolling, when we come back from a break from our national news, that'll roll us to the top of the 8 o'clock hour, where we'll be obviously getting the blood bank report from our good friend Galen, as Life South Community Blood Centers, as we know, to get out there, give the gift of life, donate blood. But the other shout out is also for Life South testing all successful blood donors in lieu of the COVID-19 antibodies in search of that convalescent plasma, which we'll talk about as well, as to get out there and donate for that, as well as giving the gift of life, donating blood. We'll find out where the blood mobile will be at today and the expectations for the weekend. As we get to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be bringing into the studio, and we've had him here before, from the center's COO Steve Blank, to discuss what the centers is here for and what they do within the community to help with everything that we know from anybody needing help to get medication assisted treatment for opioid abuse, whether it be social rehabilitation services, strength and personal recovery, as they are a resource center that's a proud sponsor of the show. And we'll be welcoming them on to discuss a little bit what they've been doing, as we've had them on before, and rightfully so, considering the tumultuous time that it was. But now, as we're coming on the back end of COVID, the expectations, almost like the stuff you don't talk about at parties kind of thing. But that's why we're having him here in the studio, to talk a little bit more of that, bring that to the forefront of the conversation. That way we know that people who need help can get help, and those who can offer help know what the best solution is, as we'll have from the center, Steve Blank, in the studio. As we round that out to the top of the 9 o'clock hour, well, we're going to be doing our On This Day in History. Yesterday was an interesting one, as we mentioned, 75 years for the anniversary of the dropping of Little Boy, the atomic bomb there in Hiroshima. And what was fascinating about that, too, was... well, on the History Channel, they've got the show, I believe it's World War II from Space is one of the shows. It sounds a little fluky, but at the same time, very informative about the expectations of where troops were and how things went with the way war is seen zoomed out, so to speak, when it comes to the tactical essence of what's going on. So with that, after the show yesterday, my lunch hour, they played an episode that detailed the expectations of American troops in the Pacific and what it took for Okinawa, but then how that all led up to the idea of raids in Japan, which was seeming to be more and more far-fetched, obviously, with the Banzai and kamikazes that brought forward the use of the atomic bomb. 75 years as Harry S. Truman gave the order. Just incredible how here we are 75 years later. It's good. It's good in a way. Some can argue some bad things, but at the same time, it's just fascinating where we move in time. So what we'll be doing on this day in history is what I'm getting at. So we'll take a look at certain events that have taken place on this day in history, and we're going to roll with that for you, as well as getting some good conversation going, and then keeping it a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more light for your Friday, as we got some fun stuff to talk about as well to get you ready for the weekend. And then from there, we say at the bottom of the 10 o'clock hour, as we say, to round out the show, we'll have our Ocala magazine. And then we say stay tuned for After AM Ocala Live for the Conservative Watch Hour with your host, Annie Marie Delgado, with co-host Ann Vandersteel, as they bring you some of the up-to-date information within the Trump campaign, as Annie Marie Delgado is your Florida campaign Trump how do you say it? I'm sorry, darling. Let me see here real quick. What am I trying to say? Trump Team 2020, President Trump Team 2020. That's what I meant to say. As we'll bring you more information with that for the Conservative Watch Hour after AM Ocala Live. As we do ride along for you for this Good Friday show, nonetheless, we want to take a short little break, but when we come back, like we said, we're going to get that conversation rolling and bring you a pretty good Friday to roll you into this weekend. As I'm your host, Adam Mikulin, as we say good morning to you, like we said, 73 degrees, lots of sunshine right now, although if you were waking up with the sun coming up, a little bit of a red sky. Red sky in the morning, sailor and aviator take warning. Red sky at night, sailor and aviator delight. So a little backwards with the idea of the sun coming up and being a little red. So we know there's some storms in the expectation of the day, but nonetheless, we're staying dry for the moment. More coming your way. AM Ocala Live back after this.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking. Free breakfast.
Yum, yum.
A swimming pool. A kiddie pool. And veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala, at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794. On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
WOCA.
Ocala.
Welcome back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, the Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. As we welcome you, it's Friday. As we're coming to the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour, as we welcome you, like we said, to a good show this Friday. As we say, stay tuned. We're going to get this conversation rolling. Up next is your national news, as we'll bring you the Ocala Quick Minute News as well as when we come back from the break, and we're going to get this conversation rolling for you as we bring you this Friday day here. As like we said, 73 degrees, lots of humidity, but that's okay. It's Friday. We'll be back right after this. WOCA Ocala.
News. I'm Lillian Wu. Several $1 trillion apart on negotiations on Capitol Hill for coronavirus relief.
Republicans offering just north of $1 trillion, while Democrats want more than $3.4 trillion, as meetings are producing little progress. The clock ticks, but it didn't stop the Senate from adjourning and going home with the House out of session next week, and millions of unemployed Americans struggling because their enhanced benefits expired last Friday with no relief in sight.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. Lawmakers are set to continue talks today. Another night of clashes in Portland, Oregon.
Police declared the protest near its East Precinct unlawful. Officers tried to disperse the crowd of about 200 people, some throwing things at police, officers responding with chemical gas.
Fox's Carmen Roberts, and the July jobs report is due out this morning. America's listening to Fox News.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Finding the next job is a big job, and that part of what you do is a little tough right now. Because of that, Lowe's for Pros is here to help. Get $400 in leads on us with a free 1-year subscription from HomeAdvisor to connect to jobs that make sense for you. Sign up at lowesforpros.com/proloyalty to get started. Just one more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Now let's get to work. Subscription and $400 lead credit subject to HomeAdvisor's approval and terms. Valid for new HomeAdvisor customers only. Lowe's loyalty required. More terms apply. Valid through 9/9 U.S. only.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
Come and join the Marion County Search and Rescue on August 15th at AMF Galaxy East. This is a fundraiser to support this all-volunteer community organization. It's open to everyone. No scratch games, no handicap. Just lots of fun for a great cause. The cost is $25 per person. It's a 40-frame game. There will be a 50-50 raffle and prizes. Cash award will be given to the top 3 bowlers. Again, that's August the 15th at Galaxy East. Walk-ins welcome, but early registration is recommended. Contact Galaxy East for more information and register. 352-694-1111.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
David Moore here, running for Marion County Property Appraiser. I believe in faith, family, and freedom. I have over 29 years of experience in the real estate and finance industry. I own a local realty. I have a bachelor's in business and master of arts in leadership. I believe that my education and experience makes me uniquely qualified to be your next property appraiser of here in Marion County. I have both public and private sector experience. For more information, go to davidmoore.com. Political advertisement paid for and approved by David Moore, Republican candidate for Marion County Property Appraiser.
Stay connected with the centers in person or telehealth using computer, iPhone, or Android. Phone 352-291-5555.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Why call 2 men in a truck? If you're like most people, you're moving and you work hard. You call 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained, professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. You call 352-289-0666. People who care about your things as much as you do. Time is of the essence, and you want it done fast and right. That's why you call 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. Visit 2meninatruck.com today and get moving. So call 352-289-0666.
2 men in a truck. Help prevent the spread of germs. Wash your hands with soap and hot water for at least 20 seconds and always wash before you touch your face, eat, or drink. Use hand sanitizers. Limit sharing of eating utensils. Practice social distancing and avoid physical contact. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. Avoid contact with ill individuals. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Download the free booklet at scientology.org/stay well.
Are you ready for some real deals on summer's best color at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala? Well, just take a listen. Big number 4 size bottle brush, just $14.99. Plumbago, gorgeous, regularly $9.99, just $4.99. Sun Patience, lots of year-round color to choose from, as low as $6.99. They've got a great selection of assorted perennials, just $1 to $10 each. And Easy Care Drift and Knockout Roses, Bob's best, Buy one, get one at half price. And of course, your favorite dwarf ever-blooming red ruffle and other azaleas, just $3.99. Azaleas just $3.99. Check the ad and come see for yourself daily till 4:30. Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
We are proud to announce the Conservative Watch Hour on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM every Friday at 11 a.m. Hosted by Annie Marie Delgado, president of Trump Team 2020 Florida, and her co-host Ann Vandersteel with SteelTruth.com. We are serving a higher level of excellence, and we are the only program of this type in this market. Don't miss your weekly dose of conservative talk radio. WOCA 11 a.m. Fridays, 96.3 and 1370 a.m.
WOCA.
And welcome back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday, August 7th. Made it to the weekend. Sure did. Sure did. As we welcome you to the show here, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. It is now time for your Ocala Quick Minute News. As we welcome you to it, as today marks the start of the back-to-school sales tax holiday as it ends at midnight on Sunday.
Holiday provides for a break on masks, clothing, footwear for $60 or less, school supplies at $15 or less, and then again the first $1,000 of computer.
Scott Shalley, president of the Florida Retail Federation, says thanks to distant learning, about 63% of families are expected to buy computers and other electronics this year, up from 54% last year. Because of the pandemic, there are 3 ways you can buy tax-free items: at the shop, online, or even curbside. A world-famous DJ is facing charges in Miami-Dade County. Eric Morillo was arrested this week for sexually assaulting a woman last year at his home in Miami Beach. The 49-year-old is best known for the 2005 song, "I Like to Move It," from the film Madagascar. Wearing a mask will remain optional in part of Escambia County. The county commission yesterday rejected a request to require masks to be worn in public places. It's the first time for Florida's middle and high school athletes to resume face-to-face competition, says Florida State Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward, who spoke today in Jacksonville during a coronavirus roundtable with Governor DeSantis. Ward says discipline from a distance doesn't cut it.
They say, what are you going to do if I am not doing what I'm supposed to do virtually? But I do know if we have them in our sites or with us, there is some form of accountability.
As Ward is a high school basketball coach in Tallahassee. As a man is dead after jumping off a bridge to avoid police in Tampa, Florida Highway Patrol says a car going 120 miles an hour crashed on the Howard Franklin Bridge. The driver and passenger jumped off the bridge into Tampa Bay, and the passenger died while the car suffered serious injuries. Senator Marco Rubio is worried the election night could become a nightmare scenario for the country, as Rubio is writing on Medium.com that he expects a flood of mail-in ballots this fall. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. We'll be back right after this.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
And now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Need help at home? On Wednesday, August 12th at 8:50 a.m., Jim Haskins with Touching Hearts at Home will be Adam's guest. You will learn how the Compassionate Care Team can help with personal care, Alzheimer's, dementia care, housekeeping, meal prep, and transportation. Of course, Touching Hearts at Home follows all CDC and state guidelines for COVID-19. So be sure and listen in Wednesday the 12th at 8:50 a.m. It's information you can use from Touching Hearts at Home and your friends here at WOCA, The Source.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40 just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast, a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794. On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Embrace Magazine is the first ever LGBTQ magazine based right here in Ocala with a mission to unite the LGBTQ community with the straight community through content appealing to all. Hi, I'm John Sotomayor, publisher and executive editor. Tune in to our quarterly radio show on Wednesday, August 12th at 10:35 a.m. here on WOCA. We will discuss topics from the premiere issue and the upcoming second issue called Heroes in the LGBTQ, expected to publish in October 2020. To receive regular updates, follow us on Facebook and visit our website at embracemagazine.us.
WOCA.
Mostly cloudy today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 90 to 92. Tonight mainly clear, low 76. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm at spots. Breezy in the afternoon, high 93. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 77. Sunday, times of clouds and sunshine. Breezy in the afternoon, high Sunday, 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
As we welcome you back to the show, you're listening to AM Ocala Live on this Friday morning. Good morning, everybody. As you're starting your day, as the sun's coming up, now 75 degrees out there. As we welcome you to the show, as we are now 7:45, 15 minutes before the top of the 8 o'clock hour, rolling right along, getting this conversation started here. One of the cool things that was going on for yesterday right here out of Florida as SpaceX has another successful overnight Starlink mission launch, as SpaceX has conducted another successful launch, lighting up the night sky early Friday this morning as a Falcon 9 blasted off from the Kennedy Space Center early this morning, early morning launch, set up the latest batch of Starlink internet satellites, plus giving a ride share for 2 Earth imaging satellites from the company called Black Sky, which Sounds more ominous than Skynet. This is the 10th Starlink mission for SpaceX, which is creating a constellation of tens of thousands of these satellites to eventually provide high-speed internet access to, underserved areas around the world. Like SpaceX has postponed this latest Starlink mission at least twice without providing many details as to why. Forecasts from the 45th Space Wing showed only a 30% chance that the weather would put a stop to the launch. So another successful launch with SpaceX as they move along. And with these Starlink satellites, as they just keep putting more and more up there, I think the expectation was to come away with more than a few thousands of these Starlink satellites, as it was mentioned that it was also an Earth imaging satellite, 2 of them, that were from the company called Black Sky. Like I said, was just sounds a little ominous. Sounds a little bit worse than Skynet. So Black Sky will be taking more photos, imaging of the Earth from satellite. But nonetheless, as it was another successful launch and mission there for SpaceX, as we continue to see that, and that bodes well for what they can bring to our state of Florida. Another cool thing for this Friday as we move into, hopefully for everybody, a relaxing weekend that obviously with the forecast with lots of rain, showers, and thunderstorms, well, maybe you can sit back in the afternoon after doing what you need to in the yard earlier when it's cooler, so that way by the time the tumultuous heat is there, you have time to sip a beer. As brewing across America, these are the 35 most successful U.S. craft brews, as breweries are it's definitely been taking shape for the last 10 to 15 years. As a little shout out to the Sam Adams Brewing Company, as we had them on early in the year. One of the privileges I had of doing the radio was talking to the founder of the Sam Adams Brewing Company, as we had him on earlier in the year, and he was one of the pioneers to bring back the craft brews. Well, America loves beer, that's why. And in 2018, we quaffed about 6.3 billion gallons of it in all, which works out to an average of roughly 26.2 gallons per adult of drinking age. Not that adults of drinking age are the only ones consuming it, of course. The overwhelming majority of what we consume in mass-produced, most of it made by the brands owned by, well, one of 2 companies, obviously Anheuser-Busch InBev, or Miller Coors. Well, more than 29 million barrels of the country's single best-selling beer, Anheuser-Busch's Bud Light, Bud Heavy's okay. I'm not a big fan of Bud Light. Were shipped in 2018. In addition, Bud Light, these are the biggest brands in America, as in contrast, the country's estimated 7,500 plus craft breweries combined shipped only 25.9 million barrels. But while the overall U.S. beer sales decreased 1% in 2018 over the previous year, obviously with everybody staying at home and having the opportunity to dive into something different, craft brew sales have grown by 4%. So in the idea, it says every year the Brewers Association, a nonprofit trade group representing more than 4,800 breweries, released 2 lists of the top brewing companies in the United States outside of the 2 that we mentioned with, as the members of the association otherwise, according to the previous year's sales of volumes. It says one list cover companies overall, including Anheuser-Busch, InBev, and Miller Coors, while others concentrate on craft breweries. That one is the basis for the list for an alternative ranking based on social media engagement as opposed to sales. They say see the 35 most popular brew crafts in the other article. But unfortunately, the craft brew industry's healthy sale trend last year will certainly, they say, not be repeated in 2020, as restaurants, bars, tap rooms, and brew pubs have traditionally been a major source of the income for smaller breweries, as places like these have been closed, obviously, to face the coronavirus pandemic, and then reopened only partially. And then we know that there's still issues with having bars open, right? Craft producers have seen income plummeted Unfortunately, they say some respects breweries have shut down permanently while others have barely held on. They say in Texas, for instance, 2/3 of the state's many craft brews predicted that their business won't survive until the end of the year under current operating restrictions. As the good news is almost 70 craft breweries across the nation have received the PPP loans as in amount ranging from $1 million to $10 million. So perhaps they'll be able to ride out this crisis. In the meantime, looking back on better days, here are America's top 35 craft breweries for 2019, according to that Brewers Association's list. As it mentions here, the location listed are for headquarters and principal facilities only, and some of the breweries have additional locations. But as it's mentioned here, as there's quite a few, and I wanted to bring about maybe ones that are a little bit closer to home and the ones that I deem a little bit good nonetheless that hit close to home, the ones that I've had before. Coming in at number 23 as listed is the Great Lakes Brewing Company as phenomenal stuff there. Operating since 1986, Great Lakes produces more than 200 brews in many styles, the vast majority of them draft beer pub exclusives, and one regular bottling as the Elliot Ness Amber Lager is named for the legendary Prohibition agent who frequented the tavern that became the site of the brewery's brew pub and who once employed Great Lakes founders Pat and Dan Conway's mother as a stenographer. And with Great Lakes, too, not only was it the Elliot Ness Amber Lager, but also their Dortmunder. And then around Christmas time, something you might have to order, but their Christmas ale is phenomenal. As mentioned, I've actually had this one, and I want to give a shout out to one of the students who had got me this as a little gift for getting them their pilot certificate. Was the Alaska Brewing Company, as the Alaska Brewing Company ranked 22. As when this operating geared up in 1986, it became the first brewery opened in Alaska and the Alaska capital since Prohibition. As beers available year-round include Icy Bay IPA and Free Ride Pale Ale, and one offering of the brewery's pilot series of especially limited editions Pineapple Jalapeno Ghost, which is a sour beer, which not the biggest fan of those, as those I know are making a bigger push and a bigger trend overall. Another one that's been real popular, which comes from Atlanta, which isn't that far away, which has been popular for a long time, founded in 1997, is the Sweetwater Brewing Company. As Sweetwater is coming in at number 14, is active in the conservation movement, donating money to fish and wildlife organizations. Not surprisingly, then, its beers include a hatchery series, including Golden Summer Ale and a Chocolate Milk Stout. It says in a Woodlands Project series, an example of which the PNP Plums, a sour beer, and Italian Plums, aged for 2 years in French oak. I know it's a lot for beer, but at the same time, at least they're being creative, and you got to give props to that, right? Blank canvas. As brought about, too, as we bring you the top 10 of the top 10 breweries, as this one coming in at number 10 in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, is the Artisanal Brewing Ventures, as this, not itself a brewery, but the North Carolina-based parent company of 3 craft brews, Victory Brewing Company in Pennsylvania, and a few others. Samples beers of Victory Classic Easy Drinking Lager, which is good there. Number 9, Stone Brewing out of California, Stone Pale Ale, which has been popular, I've seen. And this one, as local as Canarchy, a craft beer collective founded in 2015, is composed of 7 individual breweries nationwide. And with that being said, right here in Tampa, Florida, is one of them with Cigar City Brewing Company, as they've been becoming more and more popular down there in Tampa. And if you get a chance to visit, that is one that is for sure to have you a nice afternoon. It says a few of the many beers sold under the umbrella are Cigar City's High Lie Indian Pale Ale, as well as some of the others, like the Three Weavers Cloud City Haze IPA. As We move on to number 7, Bell's Brewery out of Michigan. Priority. Larry Bell started selling supplies for home brewers and made his own first commercial beer in '85, as the brewery had swelled in size since then. And thanks in large part of the acclaimed Two-Hearted Ale, which is made with Wisconsin hops and English malt, released first in 1997, which that is a popular one, the Two-Hearted Ale, that you can get even down here. Number 6 was out of Shiner, Texas, Cambrius. It's is not itself a brewery, but has 2 beer brands. Shiner, as that brings up, founded in Shiner, Texas, a Shiner Bock, which is a popular one that I know a lot of people like nonetheless. Number 5, this one here, it says Duvel Morget. It says a Belgian brewing company, that the Boulevard Brewing Company in Missouri, Firestone Walker Brewing in California, and another one in New York, as that one's a little bit unknowing. Number 4 is a very popular one, as this one has moved up in the rankings, as New Belgium Brewing Company. As New Belgium's founders opened the brewery in 1991, one of their first beers was the amber ale called Fat Tire, which became their signature, which is a hugely popular beer that is all around. Formerly employee-owned New Belgium was bought last year, though, by Little Lion World Beverages, which is a subsidiary of Japan's Kirin holding companies, the Japanese beer. But New Belgium's always had some good ones there, as they rank number 4. Number 3, your Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, as they were founded in 1980, best known for the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Others offering include Narwhal, as Hop Bullet as another one. But Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, one of the astute pale ales out there. Coming in at number 2, as mentioned before, as we talked to the founder and everything of this, is the Boston Beer Company, founded in 1984. The Boston Beer Company, most famous for their Sam Adams Boston Lager, has a wide range of other beers, including their cream stout and a super strong 28% barrel-aged ale called Utopia. A selection of the seasonal releases. Your cousin from Boston, also is Delaware's Dogfish Headcraft Brewery, as Boston Beer Company is one of the popular ones that we know with Sam Adams and all of their seasonal ales, as mentioned. And then at number 1, your number 1 craft brew, as they consider it, but at the same time it's a little bit more than that, is your DG from Pottsville, Pennsylvania, of the oldest brewery in America, Yuengling and Son Incorporated, founded in 1829, standing the test of time. Even though it's a large-scale producer, it is independently owned and ships fewer than 6 million barrels a year, so Yuengling meets the Brewers Association definition of craft brewery. Its sales are particularly impressive, considering that it's distributed only on the East Coast and in the South, as I know for a long, long time, it was not available in Ohio, even though it was right next door with Pennsylvania. So anytime there was a family vacation out of state to Florida, Yuengling was the go-to beer overall. So there you go. Number 1 is Yuengling and Son out of Pottsville, Pennsylvania. If that gets you excited for maybe finishing up this work week and then going home and having a brew, I don't blame you. Something better to talk about than coronavirus, am I right? Why not? At the end of the day, I know a lot of people have their opinions about craft brews and what pale ales and hoppies and all that stuff, but at the same time, at least it's an opportunity to have something to drink, to sit and relax, talk about all the stuff that goes on in the world that you hear and that you listen to right here in 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. That's how we get the conversation rolling, so you can continue that conversation over that craft brew as you enter the weekend. As a plug for the station, as well as making you thirsty. Anyway, more good show coming your way. Stay tuned. 8 o'clock hour up next with Florida Agricultural News, as well as Life South Community Blood Centers with Galen. We say good morning to you. We'll be back right after this. WOCA Ocala, WOCA The Source.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. The State Department lifts its global advisory on avoiding international travel during this pandemic.
The administration says conditions no longer warrant a blanket worldwide alert. The State Department to return to country-specific warnings. States move coming just hours after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention revised their COVID-19 travel advisory info. However, Americans still face travel restrictions across the globe because of the spread of coronavirus here.
Fox's Tom Rigotti. The White House cracks down on Chinese apps.
President Trump issued an executive order to ban transactions with TikTok and WeChat in 45 days.
Fox's Maria Bartiromo. And the July jobs report due out shortly, expected to show 1.6 million jobs created, which would mean hiring has weakened. The unemployment rate expected to drop to 10.5%. America's listening to Fox News.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Finding the next job is a big job, and that part of what you do is a little tough right now. Because of that, Lowe's for Pros is here to help. Get $400 in leads on us with a free 1-year subscription from HomeAdvisor to connect to jobs that make sense for you. Sign up at lowesforpros.com/proloyalty to get started. Just one more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Now let's get to work. Subscription and $400 lead credit subject to HomeAdvisor's approval and terms. Valid for new HomeAdvisor customers only. Lowe's loyalty required. More terms apply. Valid through 9/9 U.S. only.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
WOCA.
Hey, what's the best way to get this week's hot gardening specials at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala? Well, that's easy. Just go to bobwinescamelliagardens.net and you'll see dozens of unbelievable buys. This week, Bob's featuring a fantastic selection of budded and blooming crepe myrtles. They're in white, red, pink, purple, peppermint, and many other colors. Smaller ones, regularly $9.99. They're just $4.99 each. The larger size crepe myrtles, well, they're just $12.99. Come on, check out Bob's big selection of citrus, starting at just $69.99. But you buy one and you get one for half price. Don't forget the extraordinary deals in the old-timey greenhouse. Hundreds of discounted items, 10 to 20% off. Come on out early to Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Today in Ag News from the Southeast AgNet, it was announced 2 weeks ago that the Sunbelt Ag Expo's Board of Directors had voted to cancel this year's show that was scheduled to be held October 20 through 22nd in Moultrie, Georgia. Well, this week, North America's premier farm show followed that announcement, noting that due to cancellation of the 2020 show, plans for the selection of the 2020 Swisher Sweets Sunbelt Ag Expo Southeastern Farmer of the Year winner have also been amended. Originally, this year's judging tour was planned to take place next week, but due to current health concerns, the tour has been postponed indefinitely. So a decision has been made to still recognize the 2020 state winners, but an overall winner won't be announced until the 2021 Sunbelt Ag Expo. A new class of state winners will not be selected next year. In a release, Sunbelt Ag Expo Executive Director Chip Blaylock said, "We've considered virtual options for the judging tour and award ceremony, but the Farm of the Year program is not a virtual event. The program is about so much more, and to have a Farmer of the Year class not to be able to experience the in-person judging tour and the trip to the Sunbelt Ag Expo is not an option in our book." If you'd like to learn more about this, simply go to our website, southeastagnet.com.
Attention farmers, you could be eligible for technical and financial assistance under a program offered by the Natural Resources Conservation Service. The Conservation Stewardship Program is now accepting applications. To learn more, visit your local USDA Service Center.
For generations, we've worked the land. We've faced hardships and uncertainty before, but you can depend on Florida's farmers. We will continue to rise before dawn and harvest our crops, ensuring that Florida-grown fruits and vegetables are in your stores and that your family is fed. We are providers for our families and yours. We're Florida's farmers, and we're in this together.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Mostly cloudy today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 90 to 92. Tonight mainly clear, low 76. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm at spots. Breezy in the afternoon, high 93. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 77. Sunday, times of clouds and sunshine. Breezy in the afternoon, high Sunday, 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com. WOCA.
Welcome back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on this Friday, August 7th, 7 minutes past the top of the 8 o'clock hour, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. As we're broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, we are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, the Source Radio. So if you get to the office, you can still catch us even if you don't have that radio. Up next, Life South Community Blood Centers. We've got our good friend Galen on the phone. Good morning, Galen. Happy Friday, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, Adam? How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, I just, before the 8 o'clock hour there, I read a pretty neat article about, I guess the craft brews here in America, and the idea of basically saying how a lot of them are suffering, considering a lot of the craft brew sales happen at the restaurants, local restaurants and everything else with their taps, as it's taken a big hit, and a lot of them might not make it. But at the same time, too, we also did talk about the ones that are pulling pretty good, as they ranked 35 craft brews around the country, and we mentioned the top 10 here. And I was going to ask you, I remember you saying that you weren't the biggest fan of the specialty beers with all the IPAs and the hoppiness and stuff. But is there some craft brews that you like that you could turn to if you're like, I'm looking for something special?
There's a lot of them that are really good, but I IPA is a style of beer.
Yeah.
I just think it's terrible. I love sours.
Do you really? Let's talk about that.
Sours.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Is that something that's going to stick around, or is this a little bit of a trend thing? And you said you're a fan of it, and I guess I'm still warming up to the idea.
I don't know. Everything's a bit of a fad, isn't it? I mean, everything comes in fashion and goes out of fashion.
Yeah.
Especially with alcohol.
That's true.
Budweiser.
I'm waiting for the seltzers to go out of style.
Well, I mean, you got to remember when I was a kid, if you had a 4-pack of wine cooler, there wasn't a girl in the neighborhood that wasn't, near you. I mean, so
I love that.
It's not that much different, right? I mean, this is the alcohol industry is always trying to find something to hook that younger audience into drinking.
Yep. I've made the joke before that.
Let's be clear. You don't have any 35-somethings going, wow, I could really use one of those Corona seltzers. Those taste terrible, by the way. They're not good.
They're not good. But most of the moms are into that.
But again, if you're a kid, I really believe that's who they target all these for.
And just to make that straight, right here at the source, when he says kid, we mean 21 and older. We do not condone underage drinking when we say kid.
Correct. Right. I'm sure. I mean, there's a reason why they focus on college campuses. But I'm trying to think of the. There's a one that's going around now that everybody drinks, but I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, those are pretty terrible.
Yeah.
They started the whole seltzer phase, and again, if they'll come, they'll go, and yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
There's a few things that. How many people drink screwdrivers now?
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Not very.
Now people are drinking the cranberry and vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Now handcrafted drinks are coming back, and
they really
there
are.
are some mainstays. Yeah, there are some mainstays that people just enjoy. A good Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Is still and has always been in fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So the classics are always cool.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of them that are just fads.
Mm-hmm. That's
when's the last time you're a bartender, when's the last time somebody, I could really use a sex on the beach? You're like, okay, the 90s called you.
The 90s called. I'll be serving that to you with an Alabama Slammer.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you're obviously in your late 40s. You're trying it all over again. You should the next sentence go, so your wife left you. Oh, I guess your husband left you. Somebody left somebody in the 90s.
This is the first night out you've had in 15 years. Fantastic. They're 2 for 1.
Maybe 25. Let's be clear. I mean, I don't think Sex on the Beach were 95 at the latest. But again, at the same time, people are always going to like shots of tequila you know what I mean? They're those stylish shots people are always going to like. So, it's just it's a thing.
Now
I mean, right now I'm into rye. I'm into bourbons and rye, and I don't know how long I'll be into that, but they're good.
Now,
Bullet Rye.
Yeah.
If you like rye whiskey, Bullet Rye is so good. It's cheap, comparatively speaking, and it's so good. It's got such a smooth taste.
Mm-hmm.
I like Knob Creek Rye too because it's got a little bit more pepper in it. But
yeah, it's got a little bit more bite. The funny thing is like you mentioned trends. I've always made the joke with the hard seltzers that was basically Zima back in the 90s that didn't work well, was rebranded with a little fruit essence.
But how much Zima was drank for, like a 5-year period. And
right.
Again,
and then it just
I graduated high school in 1988. And if you had Zima, that was a step above Bartles and James.
Yeah.
So, you show up, at the high school bonfire in the Shores, where now there's a family of 4 living, and we were burning pallets in front of their, in front of their house in the cul-de-sac. That Zima. I'm sure if archaeologists go back there in 100 years, they'll be pulling out Bartles and James and Boone's Farm and Zima. So, nice. Whenever I go to the Shores, dropping some kid off, or driving out there for some reason, after practice, taking one of the kids home from school, and I go, my gosh, this is. Because I remember we'd be there, and now you're like not way deep in the Shores. You're like in the heart of the Shores now, and there's houses everywhere. You're like, my gosh.
Right.
We used to sit in there and laugh at them, like, why in the world would they pave all these roads? So it's a long time.
Sign of the times. So, that's awesome. Now
my sister used to drink out in the country club of where the Shores Country Club is, because there were no houses out there, and it was a little further away.
Yeah.
And so they could get a bigger fire. It's true.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, going back to it real quick with those sour beers, in a way, that's almost, as far as they finish, that's almost like I could see your palate, like when you mentioned the rye whiskeys and then the sour beers. Did it take you long to get into the sour beers? I'm still not sold, I guess.
No, it didn't take me long at all. Again, my neighbor, he just kept he kept going and going and going until there was something that I liked.
Yeah.
And again, the thing with beers is, people are like, oh, I don't like craft beers because they had a bad one.
Right. Right. So then, they lump it.
I encourage everybody, get a sample before you buy the whole glass. I don't know. That one's tough.
Yeah.
That one's tough. I really do understand why the whole thing, because I didn't like craft beers until my neighbor came over, and because I hate IPAs.
Yeah.
Oh, don't like them at all.
No.
Probably my favorite brewery is Rogue.
Okay.
And they're big. They're big enough that they're going to last. So there's a lot of the Rogues that I like. The other one I like is there's a couple of barrel aged that are pretty exclusive. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's basically beer aged in an old whiskey bottle. It's something county. It'll come to me. Anyway, I love those too, but they're like 15%.
Yeah.
So you better drink cautiously.
Yeah.
You better drink cautiously.
The ones that sneak up on you for sure. That's definitely it.
There's nothing sneaking up on you. Yeah. It's good. And it tastes really fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, just as we mentioned the top 10 there before the top of the hour, just a little shout out for the one that's number 8, as it's a collective craft beer collection company, but one of their brews is the Cigar City Brewing down here in Tampa, Florida, which I know a lot of people are a huge fan of, and it is a really nice trip down there if you get to visit the brewery, as they're one of the most popular, and I know, not a fan because it's the Indian Pale Ale, but it's something that you see in restaurants all over, is Cigar City's High Lie, which is always popular, but they've got some other ones there that are real good. And a shout out to them because they've made top 10 in the country for craft brews. So that's pretty cool knowing that they're not that far away. And I don't know if you believe this or not, but the number 1 as they consider this from the how do they say it? The Brewers Association is the one who puts the list together, but they consider number 1 to be, well, America's oldest brewery in Yuengling beer, their lager.
Yeah, and I just don't think that Yuengling is considered like a craft beer.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it's in every grocery store in America, but
they do. It's
not really small batch.
Right. They fall under, and this is where it comes in. For those who are just tuning in and wondering that too, it says under the Brewers Association, who is big on this. It's that they're a large-scale producer, yes, but they're one of the few that are still independently owned, and they ship fewer than 6 million barrels a year, as they're actually only available on the East Coast and in the South. So that's why they fall under the category of what's considered craft brews, because they're still independently owned, which is refreshing considering how everything's pretty much under InBev or Miller Coors or something like that. But number 1, sure. Yuengling, which is one of my dad's absolute favorites, which I got sick of when I moved down to Florida. But nonetheless, nonetheless.
Bourbon County, by the way, it just popped in my brain.
Yeah.
Urban County.
So
you're gonna have to go to more of a specialty store, like in the ABC has them and things like that. But you're gonna have to. It's strong stuff, man.
Now, as we're I was going to say, now as we're on the topic of all these beers and even whiskeys and stuff, well, there's nothing better as we're moving to the fall of the idea of, watching football and drinking a beer. As I was going to bring up a little bit, partner, of what we talked a little off air, is that the list came out with the opt-out of people in the NFL that decided not to play in lieu of COVID-19. And we were talking just a little off air. It's like, but they still have the opportunity to come back.
Yeah, it's not a it's not a forever thing. You can opt out. You can opt back in. And the thing is here's why they're doing it. If you opt out, certain individuals can receive a $350,000 stipend.
Yeah.
And you get a year of service.
Yeah.
And you get a $150,000 salary in advance.
Yep.
So this isn't that big a deal.
No.
Because that's the NFL minimum, and they're not and for a lot of these players, they're not beating themselves up for a year, and you get a year of service. The year of service is worth a whole lot more than $300,000.
Right. Do you think that there's any discouragement of work ethic or anything like that comes along with this for some of the players when it comes down to like some of the teams? The Cleveland Browns have one of the most as players opting out. I think they believe they have six players opting out from that team. I was going to say, does it at any point question anything that comes along with the goals for the year, the season for that team to play well when you got big players opting out?
No, because you got to remember the Patriots have a bunch, the Chiefs have a bunch.
Yeah.
It's a contract move.
Yeah.
If I'm your agent and I'm like, look, in your contract you have certain guarantees to opt out. Just opt out. They're almost automatically rolled in because you can't cut you. And if you're definitely going to make the team, opt out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen more and more. And then all their agent has to prove is that you're in one of these marginal people because of your body fat index or your mother's got diabetes. Right. And then the next thing you know, now you're making $500,000 and you're not getting your butt kicked.
Right.
And you get a year of service.
Yeah. And like you said, if you're an agent, they turn them towards that. Absolutely. So yeah, just a little bit that's been mentioned there. But like you said, it's not forever either. So once you pretty much, if I'm a player and I've opted out and I watch the first two games this season, you're probably going to get excited to want to compete anyway. So you'll probably be like, I'll go back. But one of the
let's see. I mean, you know, these guys like to play football. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. One of the things to mention in lieu of football, and this is just this came out because it's one of my teams here, but the Michigan football coach Jim Harbaugh snitched on Ohio State coach as it was brought up that it's a no-no right now as NCAA rules do not allow for on-field coaching until Friday. And during a Big Ten coaches call Monday, Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh reportedly interrupted Ohio State coach Ryan Day and accused him of breaking the rules, has issued a photo that showed that the Buckeyes assistant coach, Al Washington, had the players on the field and was practicing. And I was wondering what you thought about this quote. The Ohio State coach's response was, "How about I worry about my team and you worry about yours?" What do you think about all that right now? Is that something that's a little bad taste in the coach of Ohio State to have those rules in place for COVID and then be breaking them in a way?
Well, I think it has more to do with Michigan just reaching.
Yeah.
They can't beat them on the field.
Yeah.
You got to beat them off the field.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's got more to do with it than anything else.
Absolutely. With that being said, they released a few days ago, or maybe it was a week ago or so, the Big Ten and their schedule of obviously conference games only, and that's now followed trend with other conferences. I'm confused, partner. Where does that leave Notre Dame, who wants to be independent?
Well, Notre Dame's not independent, are they? They're affiliated with the ACC.
So they're gonna fill conference games with ACC. Okay.
Yeah, that's been decided.
Okay.
Yeah. That was decided a few months ago.
Gotcha. I didn't get a chance.
What hurts is the interstate rivalries are gone. Florida State's gone.
Right. Right.
You know, South Carolina, Clemson's gone. You know, Georgia Tech. Those are the ones that matter to us. Virginia Tech.
Absolutely.
Texas. Oklahoma could still happen because they're in the same conference, but there's a lot of things like that are like, oh, come on.
No.
Those are some of the rivalries that make football special.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, but Notre Dame will play all ACC.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, in Marion County, all Marion County football teams are going to play together.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out how they're going to handle the any championships, but so I'm excited because like Vanguard hasn't played Westport in a long, long time.
Yeah.
I don't know what Trinity is going to do because they fall into that special category of private school or like a team like OCA or St. John's. Because those two teams, St. John's and OCA, just can't compete with a team like Vanguard or Westport that's got probably 10 times the student body that they do.
Right.
So, I don't quite know how they're going to handle it.
When talking about the college football season, anything that comes along within the playoff and the national championship, does that come with a big asterisk?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
This whole year is an asterisk.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
Think about this. Like in 10 years, if you're looking at a job resume and it says 2020, no employment, you're like, yeah, okay. And whatever happens in 2020, it's an asterisk.
Yeah.
You could lose your mind. You could say, look, yeah, I got arrested. It was 2020, and the person would be like, you're right.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, there's nothing that's not you could apologize for almost everything. I'm sorry, I lost my mind. It was 2020. Yeah, you're right. It's pretty terrible.
Gotcha. It makes me feel better about doing radio because if anything comes away with my big boy flying job later, and they say, hey, we don't like when you posted on YouTube back in August of 2020, be like, hey, come on, it's 2020. Everybody was saying everything about anything. If I mentioned my favorite color, it was political. Well, you know what? Yeah, we don't agree with the color green, but you're hired. I like this guy. Welcome to Kinko's.
The whole thing with people getting judged by their social media, the world, it's impossible to keep up now. 5 years is an entire world ago.
Yeah.
On what is a joke then that may have been a little edgy but funny.
Yeah.
Now it's like, wow, you really, really need to look at your discernment. You know what I mean?
True. That's true.
I don't know if we can trust you with this. So, who knows?
Who knows? Well, partner.
I'm glad I'm old.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, look, I'm 50, man. I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm sorry. I don't know what's appropriate.
Right. You're still navigating. Yeah, exactly. Partner, as we're making our way to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour for this Friday, just to talk a little bit about getting out there, giving a gift of life, and donating blood.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm here. Today and this weekend, the Bloodmobile is going to be out at Dunellen at the Walmart. We always are the first weekend of the month. Pretty excited about being there. I mean, it's such a tradition for us, and that community has been so good to Life South over the years. Today, we're going to be at the Walmart down in the Shores. So if you want to go down there and hunt some Bartles and James, feel free. I know a couple of my friends listen. So Todd Duffy is cracking up today. Tonight, Todd, we're going to be at 10-5. Saturday night, we're going to be at 831. The boys of 88 and anybody who graduated in the 80s know exactly what those numbers mean. So it wasn't rocket science. You go 10 and then you take a right turn for the next number. And the third number was always a left. So I think I got that right. So if I'm wrong, somebody will email me and go, God, Galen, how do you not remember? I'm like, it was 30 years ago. So
awesome.
Yeah, so there you go. So just get out there, get the gift of life, donate blood, and please go to lifesouth.org and make an appointment and give the gift of life and donate blood.
Yeah, excellent, partner. We appreciate it, man. I want you guys to have a good weekend. I know you got a little basketball this weekend, so I want you guys to enjoy it, have fun, get safe to where you're going.
Thank you.
We look forward to talking to you on Monday, my friend, and we'll be enjoying it as much for the weekend as you were. And have one of those sour beers from me, partner.
Hey, man, appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
You got it, buddy.
Thank you.
Life South Community Blood Centers. Get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood. This segment brought to you by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street in Ocala, where they offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, speech therapy. Any questions on the handling of COVID-19, they encourage you to give them a call, 352-854-6262. That's 854-6262. And, of course, Penn Flooring, the other proud sponsor of this segment. Family-owned and operated, Penn Flooring is a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the solution to your flooring needs, with experience in both residential and commercial. 352-351-3420. WOCA Ocala, back after this.